Hi there. So I felt fancy and bought myself and my wife a business class ticket from Singapore to Incheon, Korea. In this video, I'd like to share that fancy experience. I'd also explain why Singapore's Changi airport is as wonderful and exciting as a happy Tinder date. Terminal 3 is more of a shopper's paradise. You have almost every global fashion brand within Terminal 3. But there's also something for those who don't want to spend a ton of money on designer stuff. So I stopped by the Butterfly Garden. Welcome to Singapore's Changi Airport. Convenient, comfortable, and classy. 3 things you could use to describe this airport, just as much as you could describe your Tinder date.
Did you just say a Tinder date?
Yeah.
A convenient, comfortable, and classy Tinder date?
Yes.
A Tinder date?
Yeah, a good airport is like a good Tinder date. Even though you've left your home to go out and have some fun, you don't want to feel inconvenienced, you know? You want it to be a fun experience, not a struggle. Something effortless, something convenient to slip in and out of as you get going.
Wait, are you talking about the date or the airport?
The airport, of course.
Let me guess. And at this point, I'm not sure if you're talking about a date or the airport, but you're hoping it's comfortable too, right?
Well, you want to be comfortable when you go out, don't you? I mean, you've been looking forward to this for days, you're excited, and when you get down there, you don't want it to be covered in cobwebs like it hasn't been used for months, do you?
Please stop.
What? I'm talking about an airport. A comfortable airport is welcoming, clean, waxed, roomy enough to fit a large amount of people traveling through.
I'm begging you. Please stop.
I'm just saying, an airport has to be classy too. Singapore's Changi Airport is a classy airport.
Let's move on, shall we? How did you enjoy Singapore Airlines?
I always have a soft spot for Singapore Airlines because it was my first airlines abroad. You remember your first time, don't you? You're nervous, you're twitching, you're not sure if it's going to get up and going.
What are you talking about?
The airplane. But the staff were real friendly and attentive, which made it easy. So I'm always happy to fly Singapore. And that's not just in business class. And I've flown economy multiple times with them, and every time I've felt taken care of.
Did you actually fly business class?
I'm not a frequent business class flyer. This was just my 3rd time. For anyone who doesn't fly business class often, it always feels like a fancy experience when you do get to experience it. What Singapore Airlines as a whole, as a company, is really good at is customer service. Whether it's the ground staff or the ones on the airplane, everyone does their utmost to make you feel welcome.
So how is the fancy lounge?
Okay, so this is the Silver Kris Lounge. The lounge isn't too fancy, but pretty good. You get an open buffet with a decent selection of food. Here you have some eggs and sausages. This here, what I think is multiple variations of dumplings. Then you have some bread, butter, jam, and there you have some frozen fruits and drinks. It isn't too luxurious, but pretty done good. I didn't want to be the creep with a camera in the restroom, but you do have well-maintained restrooms and showers. And you also have a rest area to sleep in. I believe the idea is to make sure that the beds aren't too comfortable, that you sleep and miss your flight, but good enough for you to catch up on some sleep. I did catch some sleep, and soon it was time to board. My only other time flying business class on a long-distance flight was with Qatar Airways from Doha to Incheon. So if I were to compare this to Qatar Airways, you immediately notice the difference. In Qatar Airways, you have a sliding door that gives you a sense of privacy. See, there are two kinds of people who walk down the aisle on an airplane. The ones who keep their eyes firmly on the floor and walk to the toilets, and then the ones who make sure to look at everyone on flight before they get to the toilets. I guess some don't care, but I'd prefer I'm not stared at before you go to take a piss. So that sense of privacy is something I really preferred on Qatar Airways. Next, I've got to talk about the list of movies and TV shows they have on flight. This is a big deal for us. I've flown on more than 24 airlines all around the world, and Singapore Airlines has the largest collection of movies and TV shows by far. You could actually fly from Sydney to London and you still wouldn't have finished half their collection. They do have a good collection of TV shows and movies to offer, which is a nice way to segue into what they offer on a business class. You get a pair of headphones which is of a better quality than the one you get in economy, and you get an amenity kit which has the usual socks, toothbrush, condoms, delete, body lotion, lip balm, face cream. I personally don't care much for these, so I'm not going to do a before-after review of the beauty products on offer, but you do get them.
It sure looks pretty outside cruising at 35,000 feet. But what do you enjoy the most in business class?
One of the best parts of the flying business class, at least for me, is the leg room and space you get. You can stretch your legs out and actually sleep like you would normally do. That's always the single biggest reason whenever I've chosen business class. When you fly economy, it's a constant fight throughout the flight. You're fighting for the handrest, then you're fighting with the person in front of you and behind you for the angle at which one can incline the seat. So having the seat, a bed for yourself uninterrupted, is the biggest reason for me to fly business class, which is not often, but...
How about the food?
I had just one meal on flight, so based on that one meal, I'd say it was pretty decent. Nothing fancy, really. I'd give it 3 stars.
Anything else to add before we finish?
You know when you've washed your hand and then you have to wipe your wet hand with a paper towel? To dispose the paper towel, you have to push a little flap all the way down. But if your pull-out game isn't quick enough, it will get dirty.
What will get dirty?
Your fingers. Your fingers will get dirty and you have to start all over again. Conveniently, on Singapore Airlines, they have a pedal on the floor which you can step on to dispose the paper towel. I've never understood why no other airlines do this. It's such a simple thing to implement, yet no other airline could be bothered. And this is in both economy and business, so well done, Singapore Airlines.
Any last words before touchdown?
Just to drive home the point of how good customer service is on Singapore Airlines, I'm shooting this on a GoPro 360. The GoPro has a little black cover, which I thought I dropped somewhere between the seat and the backrest, so I asked the staff if they could help me look for them. I mean, it probably cost $2 and I should have let it go, but I figured if it's here, why not? They actually took the seat apart to help me look for them. Now that's customer service for you. Did I find them? No, I think I left them back at Changi Airport. But that's Singapore Airlines for you. You always get great customer service, and that's a reason enough for you to want to go back and fly with them every single time.